देश भर की पल पल की जानकारी के लिए देखते रहिए आमची मुंबई न्यूज। वित्त मंत्री निर्मला सीतारमण ने रविवार को कहा कि यह युवा दिमाग की ऊर्जा है जो देश को आगे बढ़ने के लिए प्रेरित करती है। उन्होंने यह भी कहा है कि देश में अब ऐसा नेतृत्व है जो भ्रष्ट नहीं है और लोगों की भलाई के लिए काम करता है। सीतारमण ने कहा, यह बहुत स्फूर्तिदायक है। मैं ऐसे युवा दिमागों की उपस्थिति से बहुत प्रभावित हूँ। जब आपके पास ऐसी ऊर्जा होती है तो यह बहुत प्रेरणा देती है। यह वह ऊर्जा होती है जो भारत को आगे बढ़ाती है। वह यह ऊर्जा शक्ति संवाद को संबोधित।
Namaskar. Good morning. Manya Speaker Sahab Om Birla ji, Shri Govind Maheshwari ji or entire Maheshwari Parivar, and the most popular physics teacher NV sir, you know, actually it is an eye-opener for me that physics teachers are so lovable. I used to dread my physics teacher. So NV sir, good morning to you. Om Maheshwari ji, and also all the faculty members of the various institutions which are present here today, and the students who are belonging to various different institutions who have all assembled in this one hall of Allen. The name was also something which made me a bit curious, but I've got to know why it is named Allen. So to all of you all and to the media and to all the invited guests, my very humble namaskar and pranams to all of you all. I've come to Kota several times before. The earliest I remember Manya Speaker Sahab inviting me to his house must be some 10, 11, 12 years ago. Hey, are you all okay with me talking in English? Because if I start talking in Hindi, you'll keep giggling. My Hindi is so bad. And actually in the parliament, Honorable Speaker puts up with it. Sometimes I can see him smirk, you know, have a bit of a smile because my grammar is so bad. So it's all right for me to talk in English, right? Okay. So, you know, it's so invigorating. I'm actually so touched. I might get a bit emotional while talking. I'm so touched by the presence of such lovely young faces. I'm honestly very touched. You know, it does give you a lot of motivation when you see energy so full in this room, so full as I walked in, so full before I entered the building. And it is that energy which keeps India going. Actually, it's that energy which is keeping our country going forward. And with a leader like Prime Minister Modi, who can understand the pulse of what is going on the ground, we are taking a direction which is really going to make India very proud. And since the population of India, more than 700 million of our population is in the young category. And all of you all are investing not just money, your time, your faculty, your family's energies, your parents are all investing for a future. Investing for a future through you. And this kind of a number, this kind of an energy, this kind of an enthusiasm, and see the number of girls here. Amazing. But I don't want that set of boys to feel less. You're the guys who bring in a lot more chivalry into the group, right? The boys. Yes or no? You know, nowadays when I address young crowd, I only hear, eh. I don't know whether that's good or whether that's making fun. So sometimes at least the boys should say, yay. Yeah? You're the young chivalrous guys, yeah? You're going to have to lead from the front and push from the back, but our girls will be the leaders. Yeah? See, the idea is we'll get a picture. I'm not doing a political talk. I'm looking at a talk which is going to be India talk, which is all of you all. And since I have the honorable speaker here who is supposed to be above party politics, I'm not reducing my conversation with you for only politics. But if I speak anything to do with politics, I'm speaking about the collective responsibility of all of us who are in policy making areas. So, I am speaking politics, but not partisan politics. All right, so everything that I'm putting before you is being said from the point of view of you, India, which is going to be made for the next 25 years, and India that has to be readied for a 2047. If look at the way we celebrate 75 years of India, so much energy, so much enthusiasm. We recall all those who fought for our independence. Many of you all in your younger ages, even younger than what you are now, wouldn't even have heard of the suffering which many of these freedom fighters undertook. Yeah? So, when we were in schools, we used to hear about them. Some of the children belonged to those families. So you really knew. You were closer to 2047, I mean 1947, and so you could hear them lots more as first-hand experiences. But now, that generation is gone, and the next generation is giving it to you as a second-hand knowledge. But between our independence and today, you've heard of the several wars that India has to face. I was so touched by the fact that we had some children of martyrs come here and, be a part of the celebration today. People are giving lives in our borders, our own brothers and fathers and now sisters and mothers. They're giving their lives to protect the country. And you must see some of those parts of India. It's very well. Even Delhi's cold and Kota's cold, I'm coming with a shawl. Siachen Glacier. Even further up in Ladakh. Unbelievable, not habitable for half an hour. But our soldiers are standing there. Now women too are standing there to protect our country. What is it that they have in them to go and save and stand there in that biting minus 50-degree temperature and stand there 24/7 till they get their next posting? They are there. And similarly, in the borders in Rajasthan, we're all in Rajasthan. I've gone to the borders there. Some of the areas are so hot and some are impossible. But our border security force is always there. And so would you think Andamans is a beautiful island. But you go there, you know what kind of sweltering heat it is. You must see those soldiers there in their uniforms, but it is so hot because of the, surrounded by hot oceans. So these are not people who are there for just the salary or the perquisites that they get. They are there meaning to save this country from any aggression. Now, do we remember them every time we think about what this country is giving us? We should. Ideally, we should. And begin from there to say, all right, we've reached 75 years. Where will we be in 2047? Are we still going to be looking at, there are still people really in desperate poverty? But some of us are fortunate enough to have enough wealth to take care of ourselves and also our luxuries. I'm not saying earning is bad. I'm not saying making good holiday abroad is bad. But every time we do that, we also think about those who still need to be pulled up from where they are. And therefore, my humble submission to all of you young minds who look for a fantastic India, who look for a future which is going to be so promising, who look for an India which is comparable to some of the best countries abroad. Yes, we will build that. We'll certainly reach that level. We have a fantastically clear visionary Prime Minister who's putting his best time forward, and fantastic young population before me, which is all investing. That's where I started my speech. You're investing your time to make a bright career for yourselves for the future. Very well, and all the best for that. But that career should begin with at least a moment of thought for those who have sacrificed themselves for this country, for obtaining the independence or for fighting in the borders even today. Please do remember them. And build your career fantastically. Build your career. Equally, make sure wherever, whichever part of this world you are in, excelling in your professions. You have fantastic icons who have studied in India, but today who head brilliant companies abroad. I don't need to name them. You know them all. They're contributing not only for the companies in which they work, but making us feel proud. Hey, here's this guy who was with me. My uncle studied with him. My chacha was his classmate. My sister has worked under him when he was here. But today he heads one of the biggest companies in the world. Don't we speak like that? We feel so proud that a quality of education which this country has given has taken them forward to reach those destinations. And I'm sure many of you all will also be like that, reaching such destinations which the country is going to feel very proud about. I'm sure there will be people from these institutions in Kota who will say, yes, I remember that girl. She studied with us. But in reaching that level, I repeat, do remember this country. Do remember those people who made this country for us. Do remember that many of them did not get anything in return, and they didn't ask for one. They are the people who we should remember and do bright things for them to be proud of. You don't need to do anything individually for them. But the moment you do such wonderful things and pursue high quality excellence, that itself will make them feel very proud and happy. What I can say today for you is those of us who are so inspired, and I told you I was very touched by the way in which you received me today, the energy that you show here, makes me feel that the line through which Honorable Prime Minister is taking this country, being dedicated, being corruption-free, this country was almost as though it was cursed. Can we not have a clean administration? Can we not have leaders who are not corruptible? Can we not have leaders who will work for the country? These were questions which almost pessimistically, almost cynically, all of us said, possibly never. Possibly never in the near future. But no, you have it now. You have a leadership which is not corrupt at all, which is working for the country. And why is that important? Why is that important? So what? अरे 4 पैसा उन्होंने खाया मगर काम तो हुआ ना. that attitude, is no good. 4 पैसा क्यों खाना है भाई? काम तो होना ही होना है, क्यों खाना है 4 पैसा? That idealism which is there in your minds, the idealism which makes you think that there are countries which are so good, everything is available for the common people, nobody makes big buck at the cost of the common man, but those countries are developed as well. Can we not be like that? It's a fair question to ask. And that is why a corruption-free leadership is most important for the Indian psyche. You want to be, psychologically you should feel that this country is a good country, it has got good leaders, we're all young people, we look for a bright future, we have hope here. It is only when you don't have hope, you think, oh, be damned with this country, I'm going wherever, because I can't sacrifice my life for this country. It's a genuine thought. So I want to put before you, first, that norm where good administration, dedicated leadership, corruption-free. I'm not here to make my money. I'm here to make the country better. That's what has got such hope built in it for future generation. And that is what I want you to look at for today, for now, for the next 25 years. So by the time you in the next 10, 15 years come up for leadership levels, whether in your companies or whether in national politics, you have an example to go by. You have a leadership which you can look up to, saying, I know it pays to be good to the country. It pays to be clean. It pays to be a non-corrupt leader. So without saying much more on the data, which I'm sure you'll be able to ask me as questions, I just humbly appeal to you, keep this energy going. This country has a brilliant lot of things to offer to you all. You are the ones who are going to build this country. You are the country's bright future. I can see each one of your faces so lit with hope, and we are here to serve you. I don't want to say more than this. I'll of course be there ready to answer any questions. I can reel off statistics to say how many engineering colleges after 2014 have been built to show that rapidly things are changing in this country. How many engineering graduates have come out of this country? How many bridges, how many roads have been laid? But all that is data. I can always share with you. It is a spirit that I want to share with you all. That spirit you have shown me this morning. A spirit of optimism, a spirit of hope, and a spirit of positive thinking. So thank you very much for that.
आमची मुंबई महाराष्ट्र की बुलंद आवाज। आमची मुंबई न्यूज को लाइक करो, शेयर करो, सब्सक्राइब करो और बेल आइकॉन पर क्लिक करो।